Eye strain is the number one reason why I have a love-hate relationship with this phone. It's not always there, but sometimes my eyes do get slightly agitated using this phone day to day. So it's interesting the way that this display is set up and calibrated, or however you want to refer to it, like the way it's made by Samsung. It's very unique compared to any other smartphone that's in this price. The display looks good. I'm not saying that it's a bad looking display. It's actually very beautiful and pretty, but something about it is just kind of off for some reason. Yeah, something about it is just sort of off. It's almost like your eyes don't really have much to focus on in a way, so it kind of strains your eyes because of that, right? Like, I hope I'm getting that across. It's nice and bright and vivid and all that, but your eyes sort of don't focus too, at least my eyes, right? They don't focus too well on a screen like this. Like, it's anti-reflective. Maybe that has something to do with it. Something to do with it so that the light doesn't really like pop out at you. But whatever it is, it's kind of off. Just enough to where it's sort of a minor inconvenience. And this is especially apparent when you're using the phone in light mode. Light mode, obviously it's brighter, but the white of the light mode it could be a lot. It could be a lot for sure. And again, all this to say, this is just my perspective, literally, right? My eyes here. But like the white from the eyes, sometimes it could be real like, whoa. Like the eye comfort shield toggle, it does help. It does make the display a bit like yellowish, right? Which is what it's supposed to do, but it does help, in some cases. But I honestly don't like having a display that's always warm. I like having a nice, cool display, most of the time, not at night. And what's funny is that I really didn't even really know about this issue, right? When I first started using the phone, I didn't really notice the issue or like know what it was. I did notice that a few days into using this phone, I did get, like I said, mild eye strain, and sometimes even a very minorly inconvenient headache, but not always, right? It was more of the eye strain. And I just kept thinking, oh, maybe it's something I ate or something I did before. I never thought it was the phone itself, but it's definitely the phone. And from the research I've done, a good chunk of people have experienced some sort of eye strain or some sort of like eye issue looking at this phone. And all this to say that I'm still gonna keep the phone. I still very much do enjoy using the phone. It's honestly my favorite phone ever, if I'm being completely honest. But definitely, what Samsung needs to do for the next generation is up that display or do something or push maybe a software update could help, right? But anything to where there's no issue with this, because this is $1,300-$1,400 phone and we're having these sorts of issues. That's ridiculous. What else is there to dislike about this phone? Not really too much. And this isn't a full review, by the way. I'm going to do a full review later. But what comes to mind now is the ultra-wide camera. Yeah, the camera. Not the entire camera system, but the ultra-wide camera system. Sometimes it could be very, very hit or miss. Like I'll share this photo I took at the mall. And it's like, man, you talk about over-processing. That's crazy. Hold on, another car. Anyways, so yeah, that ultra-wide camera. I'm not saying it's completely bad, but it definitely could get a very HDR-y. Gosh, what else? What else is there to say? Oh yeah, I guess it would just be, the shit looks kind of lame, if I'm being honest. It looks kind of lame. It doesn't look attractive. And again, I know it's very subjective, right? But something about it is just like, it looks cool, but it doesn't look cool, if you know what I mean. I'm a very egotistical person, and I want to show off. I want people to know how cool I am. I want my phone to be striking like the iPhone is. Yeah. A redesign would be nice. And while we're at it, like the sides, they're completely flat. I think curved sides, curved round, or whatever you call it, how the iPhone 17s have it, those are the way to go for sure. A lot more comfortable in the hand. Also the cases like adapt to those. adapt to that too, so the cases are more comfortable to hold. Also, these corners here, I know they're much, much more rounded than years before, but they need to be more rounded. Yeah, they need to be more rounded. When I hold an iPhone, when I hold this phone, the iPhone feels so much more comfortable. This, yeah, you get used to it, especially with a case. It gets soft, but I wish it was more rounded. And I guess we can move on to the likes now. Likes, number one, the camera. The camera has its own unique style and look that I really love. I love how it processes photos most of the time. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's too HDR-y, it's too like processed, it doesn't look good. I think it looks great, especially selfies. Selfies absolutely, I think, look better on this compared to an iPhone. In most cases, of course. There's like that nice processing every time you click the shutter button, right? It takes a second to process and you kind of see it in real time. I really like that effect. And speaking of the shutter button, like just the haptic that you get from the shutter button is so satisfying, right? It almost makes you want to take more photos. Something that's missing on the iPhone, by the way. It's very, very faint, very subtle, the haptic on that shutter. But again, it's a minor thing, but the shutter button, fan of that. And oh, this is like literally one of my favorite features, and nobody even really mentions this about Samsung phones. It's the Dolby Atmos support, the Dolby Atmos feature, the toggle, whatever it is. As soon as you turn that on, audio through your headphones, through the speaker, the phone speaker, sounds so much more better. Sounds so much more better. And most phones, iPhones, OnePluses, Pixels for sure, don't really have this. Especially if you guys use AirPods with this phone here, and you have Dolby Atmos on auto, and you're listening to a podcast on YouTube, just see how nice that sound quality is just from that little feature. Definitely a huge win for Samsung. And again, like nobody even talks about that, right? Nobody even talks about that. And yeah, speaking of the speaker, right, when you're not listening through headphones, the speaker is also very nice. I was playing music side by side with the OnePlus 15, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and this S26 Ultra, and the Ultra sounds so much better than all of than the rest of them. There's so much separation, but there's bass, there's clarity. This speaker is the one for sure. This phone speaker. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like, oh, how could I forget? Like the customization, right? The customization. With goodlock now, there's so much more you can do. My favorite is just the navigation, right? With the one-handed module, I don't even have to go to the top of the phone anymore. I could just swipe from the side to get my control center, swipe from the other left bottom edge to get my notifications, or I can just, do either or and swipe between them. I can diagonally swipe down to get my task switcher, which is amazing. See, I'm getting all excited, which is like an incredibly clutch feature. Nobody does that at all. No other phone company does that. Very, very cool feature. And you would think it's just so simple. The task switcher, you could just swipe diagonally. Like, oh my God, it's so neat. I've got the flashlight on the other diagonal down. I've got screen off, top edge. There's so much you can do. I just set it up like just for the basic things, just to keep it simple, but it's so neat. If you're a nerd, you don't have to be a nerd, but if you're a tech enthusiast, if you like this sort of like customization stuff, it's so cool. And a very minor niche thing as well, the wallpaper selection tool, screen, whatever you want to call it. The fact that you can dim your wallpapers right there and not have to get a third-party app is super nice. At night, like the wallpaper I have, it usually just blasts my eyes. And I love just having a dim wallpaper sometimes, just for that reason alone. And again, something really no other company does. The iPhone does it, but it's not as good. I'm thinking the real tiny things. Nobody ever talks about this stuff. But this is why I like this phone so much. These are the reasons why. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, this is just like straight off the dome. Finished my script and I just started riffing after that. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a full review later. I'm going to do a OnePlus 15 review. I'm going to do OnePlus Buds 3 Pro and the Galaxy Buds 4 Pro. I'm gonna do all that. It's been like a few years, like 2 years since my last video, and I'm gonna get back on it, man. I'm gonna start posting again. Let me know what you guys would like to see. Maybe I can make it happen, maybe not. But yeah, super neat phone. And I got this on eBay, by the way. I got it for $1,000. Definitely buy used if you can, if you want to save some money. Let's take a picture right now. I don't know how to end this video, but yeah, I'll see you again soon. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks.